A weak upper level low is moving into the Great Lakes region, and it could actually bring some activity to our area. In this video, I'm going to talk about how much precipitation is likely going to come, as well as the warming trend that's going to last all the way into the beginning of October. Hello everybody, the time is 1:38 p.m. and it is September 24th. Welcome to another update of Great Lakes weather. Pretty much the only action we've had across the Great Lakes region is the Northern Lights. This is actually a video of the Northern Lights that I saw when I was on Lake Michigan near Benton Harbor on Monday, and that was some pretty active. It was probably a KP6 level event that occurred there, with a lot of Northern Lights that we were able to see for at least 20 to 25 minutes around 11:30 p.m. that night. Very cool. First time ever seeing the Northern Lights. They do get down into southern Michigan when you get to a KP6 event. It just takes a little while. If you're a KP4, it gets up into the Upper Peninsula as well. Rarely does it get to Indiana and Ohio, but maybe one day you'll get lucky. So in this video, we're going to talk about the potential for some thunderstorms that's going to be occurring with an upper level low that's moving through the area. We're going to touch on all that, and we're going to delve into the warming trend that is going to continue through the first week of October as well. So let's get right in on it with the Storm Prediction Center's outlook to begin. So here's Storm Prediction Center's outlook for day 3. That is on Tuesday. That's when that upper level low is beginning to make its way over Illinois. Now, they did put us under thunderstorm potential for Tuesday. Okay. Now the question is, will we see any semblance of severe weather? I think the chances are very low. Okay, I'm going to explain why that is. There is going to be some instability in the atmosphere associated with the warmer air and the humidity that's going to be present with this, but I really don't think there's going to be enough lift to really favor those stronger storms in that region. But we'll have to see how the models play out. There's still a few questions, a lot of discrepancies between the models as to what exactly will occur. So that's just something we have to wait on. But marginal risk includes the potential for hail and damaging winds across Illinois. Might go into Indiana. I wouldn't be surprised to see it extend a little bit into Indiana, and I'll show you why that is in just a moment. So let's start with the current situation. So we have a deep trough that is currently ongoing across Illinois, Missouri. Actually, those areas saw some severe weather last night as this trough continues to move its way. Here's the thing. We're in a pattern right now where low pressure systems aren't really pushing in our direction. Okay, so really there's kind of just ridging that's blocking any lower systems from moving into this area. But you do see that this low starts to kind of weaken as it approaches Minnesota, and then what happens is it actually begins to drift a little bit to the southeast. So you can see pressure is rising in it, indicating it is a weakening low pressure system, but it still is pushing down south towards parts of Indiana and Ohio. This might stir on a little bit of wind shear that could foster a few thunderstorms across Indiana, and then on Wednesday across parts of Ohio. There could be the potential for a couple stronger storms, but I think that chance is very low. I don't really expect there to be very intense thunderstorm activity. And then what you notice after that is that we get into October, you do notice that a pretty broad ridge, we're on the southern edge of a pretty broad ridge that's going to be settling over the area. That's going to bring our temperatures up into the mid-upper 70s still, even as we get into the first couple weeks of fall. You probably see the colors changing, especially if you're across northern Michigan. Southern Michigan, my colors around in my yard are starting to change too. You're going to start to see that, but the warm temperatures are really going to stick around until the beginning of October, and that's something that's reflected into the outlook from the Climate Prediction Center for the Great Lakes region. Actually, a very high chance of above average temperatures, 80 to 90% chance of above average temperatures across western Michigan, northwestern Indiana, and the Upper Peninsula. You can really see that it's very focused across the western parts of the Great Lakes region. Ohio is probably going to see above average too, just maybe some cooler weather prior to getting to that point. So you can see that really high chance for above average temperatures that is reflected there. Let's talk about the trough that's going to be making its way into our region. So here's the thunderstorms associated with that. They had some pretty powerful lightning occur across parts of Missouri. Saw some videos of that as well. But you do notice the low beginning to make its way. It is not a very strong low. It's a weakening low, as I said before. But it is going to continue to make its way down southeast as the models are predicting. As we get into Tuesday, 1 p.m., you do see some rain showers starting to develop, and they're moving in a kind of an awkward fashion, especially since we are getting an east-southeastern flow of winds going along with this. But if you look at a graphic of the potential for mid-level winds, stronger mid-level winds, You will notice as this generates that it really doesn't put strong mid-level winds in parts of Michigan. It really focuses it on Wednesday, in fact, across parts of southern Indiana, and then pushing into Ohio around Thursday. So that push of winds really stays far to the south. You don't really see much wind activity in the different levels of the atmosphere connected with this low. Again, it's a weaker low pressure system, not really expecting too much in light of that. So I really don't think the severe weather threat's high with these. It's going to be some of those typical general thunderstorms that you would expect. Not really too much energy in the atmosphere to fuel these, but there is going to be Cape values around 1200, still enough to fire a few storms. You do see by Tuesday at about 7 p.m., 8 p.m., you see a few thunderstorms ongoing across parts of the area. Cloud bases do seem low. You got temperatures in the mid 60s in some spots associated with these storms that are moving through. But you really don't have that set up for good thunderstorms in this area. But around 4 p.m. when the sun's still out, your Cape values are around 800. You don't really have much spin in the atmosphere. Surface Cape is around 60, which still is enough to cause some updrafts to occur, but those updrafts will not be strong, likely won't produce anything super significant. So again, not really looking at severe weather, looking more along the lines of thunderstorms, and looking at a rather quiet day, or rather rainy day on Tuesday and getting into Wednesday, with the potential for thunderstorms continuing into Wednesday down in Indiana, with some soundings indicating the potential for some severe weather down there as the storm relativity again increases. Cape values around 1200. There might be some strong storms in southern Ohio on Wednesday. That's just something we'll have to keep watch out for. A lot of models are still in disagreement about that. So just keep in mind there's going to be some thunderstorms across the Great Lakes region Tuesday and Wednesday. Then we're back into that warm, quiet pattern that we've been seeing over the past week. So not looking at anything too active in the next several days. So as we get into the NAM model, convective aligned model, it really shows again that pattern of the storms really staying off to the west on Tuesday. So you see a few pop-up clusters firing across southwestern Michigan on Tuesday afternoon around 2 or 3 p.m. Maybe a few pop-up rain showers here and there, maybe a rumble of thunder in a couple of spots, but really the focus of the storms goes down into that place where the marginal risk area is highlighted. It does show that marginal severe potential in the convective aligned models. You go to Indiana, western Indiana. Cape values are even getting up to 2,000 across some of the convective aligned models. That's enough for maybe some stronger storm development. You do have marginal severe potential. Low wind shear still present with these. Temperatures in the upper 70s, dew points in the mid 60s. Enough to bring some good thunderstorms into western Indiana, but I'm still not expecting anything to become quite severe in that case. That's just something we're going to have to wait to watch the models for. But looking around Indianapolis around 7 p.m., see thunderstorms moving into that area Tuesday at 7 p.m. But that's as far as those cams go. So just some things to keep watch for. A few thunderstorms Tuesday and Wednesday. Other than that, looking relatively quiet for much of the week. So quiet weather, not really too much going on, not really too much storm chasing going on. Getting prepared for the possibility of doing some winter storm chasing as we start to get towards November and December. Soon we'll be releasing a video of some weather history information regarding vehicle pileups across the Great Lakes region. Make sure to subscribe, and we're going to check that out. We're going to start doing maybe some of these. I think they could be rather interesting, and there's not really anything that documents these types of events across the Great Lakes region, so I think that'd be a good thing to put out there. We'll start doing some more weather history videos, some things that haven't really been discussed as much, so just figuring out how I want to compile that. So stay tuned for those. Those will be rolling out in the next couple of months, so just new things that will keep things interesting. So thanks for watching, and I will see you all later.